Alright, I'm recording now. So apparently YouTubers do these tier lists on stream. I didn't do that last time, but let's get into this. So disclaimer right off the bat. Everything here, I am limited by my own experience, which I have a lot of, but I am limited by my own experience, perspective, and opinion. Opinion goes into a lot here. Every single weapon here, probably, thank you for subscribing, it's gonna happen throughout the video. Every weapon here has some sort of playstyle or some unique loadout that might make it better than I might put it on the list here, but I want everybody to understand that how I rank things tends to be sort of in a general sense. Like in a general sense, the Lynx AR is bad. This thing is garbage. You might have had a good experience. You might have found a really good way to use it. I've ran the math. It hasn't impressed me. But maybe it's better than I know. Regardless, I'm going to easily just start this off by putting that in the D tier, but that was just an example. And then this is also kind of an adjusted list. So there's an original tier list that I made a video on. That'll be linked below if you guys want to see the original video. I can link the original tier list in the description, but that also, I think, had every weapon. It was posted on Reddit, and Reddit's never wrong, right? But we amended this by adding the Art Deco weapons and everything that was new, like the spy weapons that weren't in the game when that was released. And that was with the help of Daniel and a couple of people in our Discord. Also chimed in to help. I think Daniel sent me the final list in the end here, the one that we're using. And I also provided my personal PNG list of all my weapons that I use for my thumbnails. So there could be either some missing weapons that has been very hard for me to check because there's no organized list of these weapons. They're kind of just thrown in here. Or there could be double ups. I've already spotted the Hydra. So there's 2 Hydras in here. Not a big deal. But I can safely say 99% of the weapons are here. If we missed any, you can comment below. But I think we're good enough to get started. Deatomizer F tier. You guys are crazy. Okay, so right off the bat, Basilisk is another example where it's kind of an A+ when you compare it to the other pistols. But when you factor in that the A+ is where like the actual usable weapons are going to be, I doubt that any pistols are going to make it past B tier for me. Like, you can use the Basilisk. It is a good pistol, but it's not a good weapon. It's really, like, if you are comparing every range weapon in this game, considering the Deatomizer is going to be on this exact same chart, I can't rank the Basilisk very high, unfortunately, even though it is a good pistol as far as pistols go. The one shot is something we were talking about on stream. A lot of weapon changes have made a lot of adjustments to this game, and this is something I'll be referring back to, and hence one of the reasons I'm remaking this video. New weapons and new weapon changes have come around. I have not tested the one shot after its release, but its update, but it is also a clone of the Sunsetter, by the way. I doubt that it's going to get any higher than D tier. Everybody is recommending different weapons for me to jump to. I'm kind of starting from the upper left and going down. The Cleaner, S tier in terms of damage. The reload brings it down to F tier. I don't think a single person's touched that weapon because of that reload perk. It's unfortunate. Racist to melee. So there are a ton of melees in this game, and they would literally need their own list. Like, you can just imagine this many weapons, but replace it with melees, and it needs its whole, yeah. It needs its whole list. Yeah, Cleaner's unusable. Unfortunately, literally, you give it a reload perk, I'd happily bump it up to A tier. Seriously, it'd be a great sniper. But without a reload perk, 3 seconds is too long in this game. It's complete junk. What is this? The Giga Blaster? I wanted to say the Blizzard Blitzer. Again, kind of an A tier pistol. But as far as pistols go, I'm putting it right next to the Basilisk. Pepper Sprayer, that's an A+. It's not S tier. It is beat out by a lot of the SMGs, but it's a really, this is again just an opinion thing. S tier, A tier, doesn't matter. It's a fantastic SMG. I'm gonna put it in A+ because I think S tier could get crowded. Yeah, I'm gonna put Jabberwocky and the Bowler in, honestly, and the Metal Marauder is kind of S tier, but these 2 weapons are just explosive bowler, bowling ball, explosive projectile weapons that are very, very, very good, but I don't know if they're like meta defining like the pot shot is. This weapon is absolutely ludicrous. It hits so freaking hard. It's literally bugged right now. Thank you for all the follows, by the way. It's kind of video mode though, so I'm not gonna read out every individual one. Yeah, and Choo Choo just popped into chat saying the crossbows, for example, are quite good after their damage buff, like S tier damage. They are some of the, I think, the hardest hitting snipers in the game, but seeing as you kind of have to be finicky and dual wield them, kind of an A-. They're very good. You can make these work very well, but they're not meta defining. That's kind of where I'm putting the S and A plus. Like, these are the weapons that I'm going to use when I'm relaxing. I'm not making a video. I'm not thinking about it. I'm just trying to use the best weapons and talk to the chat. That is not the Heartbreaker. You're going to have to actually try to make those things useful. Thank you for subscribing. And the Jackal Launcher, again, is one of those weapons that got to change, where it is actually quite strong now. I'll put it in A tier because it's basically a go-to rocket if you have it. It's solid, but the Metal Marauder is strictly stronger. That's why it's in the S tier, and that's kind of where the Santa's Little Helper and the Diatomizer will be joining it later. Hydra, a perfect example of a weapon that's all around like a B. It can be an A+ if you're running First Shot Rio, but assuming that loadout doesn't exist, it's basically a B. It's a good weapon. It'll work. If you're using it, it'll work. Steamroller, same thing as the other pistols. I don't need to re-explain it. Bolt, I've heard a lot about. I'm going to put it in D tier, but with some proper testing or something, it could actually be solid. And Blake said in chat that he didn't expect the Jackal to be an A. Yeah, no, seriously. In the launcher here, the Jackal Launcher got a 47% damage buff. It actually ranks really highly. It's better than the Bazooka now. So some of these changes need to be taken into account. Thank you, everybody, for following. Yeah, it sucks in most cases. The Bolt's probably not impressing. Do I get double boiled with my voucher? I'm going to link the voucher video in chat. I won't be answering that thoroughly now. The Duet, I've gone up and down with this weapon. I think I put it F tier last time, or I would have. It's not an S tier, but if you keep it close range and you don't play at a distance where its accuracy is going to be a problem, it can actually be a quite strong weapon. I'm going to put it in the A- because it's not game defining, but it's got some potential, and it's worth looking at. Most snipers are going to be in D tier. I don't need to explain that too far. I'm going to put the Shark Attack in B tier because if you miss the shot, it bounces like crazy. Good damage, worth using, kind of fun using if you want it, but it's not, Takedown Sniper, from my experience, again, it's a good weapon, but it's a sniper. Like, I don't see this as a primary, and it's not strong enough to be a miss monster killer. I don't really know what place it has in the game. I'll throw it in C for now because it's a solid all-around weapon, but it's a slow-firing sniper with a scope. It acts more like a DMR. And then kind of the Dragon's Breath. I'm gonna put the sniper up in B tier simply because it explodes. You can hit it, you can tag an enemy, and they can explode, and you can spam that pretty well. So it's actually kind of good for crowd clearing. Like, it's not that bad. What kind of damage increase did it get? This is another thing I want to consider here. I don't want to spend too much time in the video looking at all of these. I might have passed it. I'm terrible at this stuff. Yeah, the Dragonfly. 48% damage buff is literally... No. Dragonfly is a different weapon. That's the BR sniper. Oh, there's so many names. This is kind of a rule of thumb, by the way. If I don't know the name of a weapon, that's a bad sign. Yeah, the Dragon's Claw. I got barely touched, 8%. So, I'll keep it in the B tier. It can be good, but it's not... Why isn't he using the fun place? You want me to use the fun place? Here, Dragon's Fury. Not in it... Oh, actually, no. Way at the top. This is the fun tier, where the Dragon's Fury is not terribly strong. There's very little reason to use it in most circumstances, but it can be a really good time with the fireworks and, residual damage over time. It's cool. It's cool. It's a fun weapon to use, just like the snowball launcher. No bullshit, probably an A tier weapon. Like, it's one of those weapons that got a really, really healthy damage buff. They literally more than doubled its damage, but it's kind of the weapon you use when you're just trying to have a fun time. So, I don't know. I want the fun tier to be strictly fun weapons. I don't want, like, literally good weapons to be up here, so I'm going to put that in A tier, but I want that to be mentioned. And it's also right next to the Jack Launcher. That's fun. Super Shredder. It got buffed. It can be viable as like a miss monster killer. In a miss monster killer sense, it's an A tier. As a primary, it's an F tier. I'll split the difference and call it a B. I think that's fair. The pistols, I'm not really going to waste much time on. I haven't found a single piston that really escapes the D tier. Even the Duelist, I was pretty happy with this video, and it's much like the Basilisk in the sense that it's good, but it's not your primary. Zapatron, obviously S tier. I mean, there's no debate there. The snipers... the Deathwing, the Wasp, I think, is the Dragonfly. I don't think I need to explain these D tiers. Crankshot, again, A+ if you're using this with Zenith. It's a very good for that crit rating. You can use it like a freeze ray, but it's not really a primary. I'll split the difference and call it a B tier again. Like, you can use it. It's good for, like, B tier to me in my brain is like up until Canny. Twine is the only place where it's really going to matter. That's a triple tap, isn't it? This isn't the Crankshot, is it? These weapons look so similar. That's a triple tap and put it down in D tier. Where is the crank shot? Just for the there it is. That's the crank shot. Yeah, put that up in B tier. Thank you guys in chat. Thank you for saving me from myself. Which one of the, that's a triple tap, right? Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, A tier is like where you really need to actually use good weapons. So yeah, Zapatron's best, Zapatron's worst. Okay, that was silly. I'm gonna put this in the F tier because even after what was I think a pretty monstrous damage buff, it did not save it. I tried it, it did not. Hot mix again. This might be the highest ranking pistol I put on here, or one of them at least. It's got really good pierce, really good group damage. It's fantastic in that regard. But it's a little tough to use. Slow projectile speed. You're going to have to lead your shots and your range is limited. I'll call it an A-. You might have a fond idea of this weapon. I'm not 100% sold on it. Crescendo's an F. I'm not even going to defend it. I'm sorry. You guys can argue with me. I know some Crescendo fans exist, but yeah. Dragon weapons, I guess a B tier on the Dragon's Roar. Dragon's Might can be useful. The shotgun is complete garbage. I'm so sorry. You know what? The paper shredder, I'm gonna put that in fun tier because nobody uses that weapon unless they're screwing around. Okay, I can't explain my answer for every single weapon in the entire game because we do have to get moving. There's a monster list here. My last video is 45 minutes. I'm gonna try to beat that. We're already 20 minutes in. Dragoon. If anybody's wondering why I haven't made a best perks on this yet, well, they cut its damage in half when it was already pretty bad, and impact isn't something I have ever found real value in. So yeah, due to the new rankings, Bazooka's an A-. It didn't get a nerf or anything, but they didn't really touch it. And if you're putting it on a spreadsheet or on a list here with every other weapon factored in, it doesn't rank as highly anymore. Solid weapon. I love the Bazooka. Dessa Blaster, frankly, A damage, but because of the energy cells, I mean, I'll put it in the B, but it's, yeah. Haywire, most pistols are usable, but not really. Hammer Crush is an F. I'm just putting that in the F with, you know. Yeah, and Choo-Choo pointed out something I was going to mention too, is the Dam Buster is one of the only weapons where the impact actually matters, because the Dam Buster just throws the big boys around, smashers and everything. That'll be covered in our Dam Buster video whenever that happens. Is the duo list repeated? Yep, so I mentioned that might happen. I'll just throw those in the, you know what, I'll just unrank those, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Dam Buster, I doubt I'll find it because I'm terrible at spotting things like this, but its impact actually makes it somewhat useful, but very few weapons do. Compression Burst is a good one, where it's an A if your primary purpose is knocking things around in endurance. It's a C if you're trying to do damage with it. I'll leave it in the C tier, but I understand how it can be useful in the C tier. Piston Spitter's an F. Yeah, I mean, most of the hydraulic weapons are F. Oh, there's the Dam Buster. Dam Buster's, honestly, the damage is there. Did it get buffed like I think it might have? Yeah, it got an 11%, which is a lot for a launcher. I'll really put that up there in the A+. Like, the Dam Buster is a grab. Toxic Gamer with the donation. I appreciate it. Welcome. I appreciate you. Again, with the example with the Zenith. So Vacuum Tube Sniper is an A+ if you're using it as a freeze ray. Pretty much an F if you're trying to actually use it as a primary. I'll put it in a B. No, I'll put that one C. I'll put that one C. This is kind of where opinion comes in. I'm not 100% where that one should lie, but yeah, the buffs have changed a lot. They've changed a lot. Speaking of which, new 6 perks. Vacuum Tube Launcher was basically, okay, it was like an A for damage, and then a D when you consider that this is one of the most expensive energy cell weapons in the game. Kind of right up there with the Deatomizer. Thank you for the donation. But with that new Chain Lightning 6 perk, I'm gonna put that in the A+. I think that's gonna be our first example of a weapon where the recent 6 perks changes have just really moved it up the rankings. It's a good one. It's a good pick. If you can afford the energy cells, it's a good one. The Ghost Pistol, I'm gonna put that in the D. Some people are gonna fight me on that, but I've never seen, with the amount of people who have said that it's good, the fact that I've never seen it used by anybody in a serious capacity kind of paints a picture for me, because that projectile speed is very slow, and its damage is kind of but it's I'm not convinced on the Ghost Pistol. My mind could be changed, but I'm going to put it in D for now. Even though the damage is there, it's very slow firing. Tsunami snipers an F. Let me get some easy Fs out of the way. Old Smoky can join its friend with the Dragoon. I will have a video on those. I know the damage is kind of okay on that weapon now, but was not impressed when I used it. Pummeler is an F shotgun. The Backbreaker got a little bit better. That's one of those shotguns that maybe is worth a pick. Can I find it here? Yeah, so it got about a 43% damage buff. So that could be a better weapon. C is potentially where it could be. D is kind of where I ranked it before, but I'm not Ghostbusters in the fun section for you. That's a good one. That's a good idea. Yeah, Backbreaker. I don't think that damage buff helped it. Its range is pretty limited. This is where I might catch some heat, quite literally, because it's a fire weapon. But this black metal AR doesn't get used a lot, but it's good. Like if you're using this as a fire weapon in a nature zone, it's a good pick. I know not a lot of people don't like the black metal weapons. They don't like to take damage, but Blast from the Past and Coconuts negates that, and I had a good time. I was impressed by it and the black drum. Those are two very good weapons. And now that you can take the damaging perk off of the black drum, I do consider it a meta-defining shotgun. Not a lot of people use it, but it's solid. Long arm enforcer and F. Yeah, it's kind of good. I'll move it up to D just because of you, Philip, there. But I'm not. Yeah, it's a slow firing pump that does about as much damage as I think. Oh man, I don't know exactly what the base damage is. Let me see. Long arm enforcer does base 270. Yeah, but its fire rate is abysmal. The ground pounder and the pop shot and the huskbuster will just leave it in the dust, and that's kind of why I'm ranking it so low. And that's because those other shotguns are so good. Maverick's an easy A. I'm not even joking anymore. I'll even put it A+. I'll stand by this weapon because the Maverick has a cone damage where you can affect multiple enemies at once while doing really good damage. It's actually like really strong. If you don't believe me, try it out or watch my video on it. All of these most of these weapons I've covered, the most relevant ones. The Maverick is good. It's actually quite good. Now let's get some easy picks out of the way. Ground pounder, seriously, an S. I mean, yeah. Like, it's... Nocturno's an easy S. I don't think I need to explain that. The damage, everything about the Nocturno is so fucking good. These are just... Oh, these are some good weapons. I don't think anybody needs me to explain why the Deatomizer is going to be an S tier, because that is truly the definition of a game-defining weapon. The Deatomizer is so incredibly strong. Yeah. If it's not an S tier weapon, I don't know what is. Seriously, I don't know what is. Xenon bow. Yeah, Choo Choo's gonna just like, thank you, beast. Yeah, no, he's been having fun with the Xenon bow in Ventures, and I know why, because the Xenon bow is. Oh my god, I'm your biggest fan. Yeah, that might be an opinion. I know not everybody loves bows, but I've used the damage. It's good. It's good. It doesn't need Stoneheart Farah. And I know I didn't want to make these rankings based on loadouts. I'm standing by that. But even without Stoneheart Farah, it's quite good. And then some of these bows are just F. I mean, yeah. I don't know what this one is. That's the steampunk one, right? Yeah. No, some of these bows are Garbo. And you can fight me on it, but I won't care. Like, even with the fast fire rate of the Instigator, its fast fire rate can make it a C. It's kind of an okay mid-range bow, but it is not... Yeah, and that's right up there with the Nightfire. They're actually almost identical stats. I think the Scrap Shot also shares the stats. Like, the three of these are essentially minor tweak clones of each other. Yeah, thank you for subscribing and following, everybody who has. Bundle Bus is still A+ even. I mean, I won't make it S. I won't. But A+ simply because of its performance in events and the Storm King. It's a very, very strong weapon. It might not be great as a primary, but it is a very, very strong weapon. The Xenon is unironically the best weapon against the Twine Wave 25 UFO. I've been told with triple damage or quad damage, you can one-shot the UFO, or at least 2 or 3-shot it. That's... If that doesn't make it S tier, I don't know what does. Drumroll, again, it was kind of like a B or an A-. Thank you for subscribing. But with the weapon changes to that 6 perk, it really is an A. I don't know if it's like A+ game defining, but you need to know that the drumroll is kind of a clone of the Bobcat, and I think the Bobcat will be up here in A+, so it's definitely gonna have some company there. I don't want to waste too much time. Yeah, okay, I found it quickly. Yeah, the Bobcat, it's essentially a clone. I'm gonna go ahead and put my boy Thrasher up there, and I want to find the quick shot along the way. Again, I don't want to spend too much time hunting because I'll find it later. But if I can find it in a reasonable time, I'd like to put the quick shot with it. Ugh, I'm sure one of you is staring at it. I'll find it later. It's hard for me to see everything, but yeah, S tier Thrasher. The damage is there. It checks out. A plus on the Blastron.
Beast. Oh my god, I'm your biggest
That's kind of
fan.
preference.
Ow.
I don't want S tier to be too watered down, so I'm putting it in A plus. But the Blastron Mini is no joke. That's a very, very strong weapon. Thank you for the subscriptions, you guys.
Oh my god, Beast. Oh my god, I'm your biggest
I appreciate it.
fan.
My opinion is right. Onslaught isn't as good as the Nocturno. I don't think it is. No, but the Onslaught's quite good. Quite good. Drumroll is not close to be a clone of a Bobcat. Well, let's take a peek, shall we? I'm glad I left this game open because I figured I'd need it. So let's take a Bobcat. Is this the same perks as usual? Yeah, okay. Let me compare it to my drumroll. Yeah. So, are the perks the same on this? I just want to make sure.
Oh my god, Beast.
Just
oh
about.
my god, I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah, I think the drumroll... I thought the drumroll was a clone of the Bobcat. I'm surprised that the damage is so different, but it kind of... I guess they're more different than I thought. I'm surprised by that. What am I missing? Huh. So if anything, it's a little bit more damage, same fire rate, and faster reload. So if anything, it's a better Bobcat. Good to know. Good to know indeed. I'm glad I looked at that. And I want to find the fighter's drumroll. Ah, the drumroll got an 8% damage buff. Where'd the Bobcat go? It also got an 8%. Regardless, they are incredibly... Oh, wait, no. I need this. They are incredibly similar weapons. I'm gonna still put them right next to each other. Yeah, we're going on YouTube with this. Damage to inflicted on Bobcat? Yeah, but that shouldn't go into the sheet, should it, Choo-Choo? I thought they ignored that. You can get the De-Atomizer 6 perk on the Pulsar. What do you think about that? The expanding ring of damage is not really game-changing. The Beat Blaster is kind of just a solid... I'll give it A-, genuinely, because it's kind of a mid-range damage weapon, but the Pierce allows it to hit multiple enemies at once, and that's a big deal. You could hit 8 enemies with that mid-range damage all at once. So for encampments or groups of zombies, crowds of zombies, the Beat Blaster's a good pick. Powder Keg Bow, you want me to skip to that one? There was 2 Powder Kegs before. I think Daniel fixed it. Yeah, Powder Keg, no bullshit. I'm not just like literally A+. It's actually that good. And the Vacuum Tube Bow for that matter as well. I'm a little biased putting the Xenon at the tippity top there, but as far as bows go, they are quite good. Quite good. Staccato Shadow, yeah, I'll put that right next to the Beat Blaster. It's the same reason. Mid-range damage shotgun, not incredibly impressive, but it has the range of an AR and the pierce of that same AR, so it's great for crowd clearing. Powder Keg is almost S. Yeah, that's where it's going to be like splitting hairs. I can agree that it is a top tier weapon. I'm going to put it in A+, just for a little bit of symmetry for now, but I could totally understand why it would be an S. And anybody, pick a sides who just said the Nocturno is shit. You might be a little outdated in your information. The Nocturno is pretty definitively... Actually, here, I didn't think I'd need this quite so soon, but Choo-Choo sent me some of the tier list. We've been calculating a lot of the weapons, and the Nocturno is... not shit. Not only is it 321,000 DPS with the 6 perk factored in, but that's group damage. You can just delete crowds of enemies with a Nocturno, and you won't even you won't even know where they went. The Nocturno is not shit. Definitely not. What is shit is let's find a crappy... Yeah, no, Night Owl is an easy F. Is there a tier lower than F? I don't think so. All right, Night Owl, you can be up in F tier for now. Still too high. Any mythic weapon is an S tier. You can fight me on it, but you're wrong. All the mythic weapons are very good. Let me bring them up. Are we? Oh yeah, the melees aren't here. They are that good. Yeah, they are that good. I'm sorry, but they are. Thank you for the tier 1 membership, Regis. Oh my goodness. I didn't, I know not everybody loves the sub count or the sub sound, so I left it in for the video, but lot of people joining today. We got quite a few people hanging out for this. Suppress SMG is very good. I'll get it in a second. Read my last member. What? Your last member? I know. Oh. I missed a quick shot because I forgot about the founder's weapons. Oh, that's totally fine. So that's kind of an example where some might be missing. Quick shot should be right up here with the Thrasher. It's a clone of the Thrasher. I was wrong about the drum roll, but the quick shot is a clone. In fact, I think it's quick enough for me to demonstrate. If I just compare it. Here, can I cancel that? Yeah, I'm trying to find the Thrasher. Come on, give me a search bar, Epic. There we go. Compare to the Founder's Quick Shot. There you go. Yeah, they're the same
Oh
weapon
my
with a
gosh,
different 6 perk.
Beast! Oh my
Thank you for the
gosh,
donation,
what you
Trevor.
think is
Okay, I
found?
have to turn
Ow.
this down. I have to turn it down. I can already see the comments because people in YouTube videos are so much less forgiving than like stream watchers. I'm gonna catch hell for that subler. It's okay. Aggie subler is amazing. Browbeater, S tier damage, D tier fire rate. Seeing as you have to double pump this to make it at all viable, I have to put it in like B tier. But that's kind of that's all I'm gonna say about that. Dirge Song, I know some people really like this, but I'm not certain that it. I'll give it a C tier. I don't know. I've never been impressed by it. You do a good job with streams. I appreciate it, Trevor. Thank you so much. Made a build around the Onslaught with Jonesy. Okay. Founder's Revolt was still better. Interesting. Well, I've had very good success with the Founder's Onslaught. Where is the Founder's Revolt in here? He said he forgot about the Founder's weapons. It might not be in here, but I feel like the original list would have had it, so I don't know. Yeah, there it is. Founder's Revolt. So, I don't know. A minus? It's probably going to be, like I mentioned with the hot mix. This is kind of where I went, when I was talking about it being the highest ranked pistol, because the Founder's Revolt could be a primary. Like, it really could. I mean, it might even be fair to make it an A tier weapon, because that chain lightning effect takes all of the... The worst thing about pistols is the area of effect damage. That's the big limiting factor. But with the Founder's Revolt, it gets around that because it chains to multiple targets. Actually makes it a really viable weapon. It actually does. Will it be on YouTube? Yeah. What's better? Research ground powder, tiny instrument to death? Yeah, that's... What? What's better? Like a lawnmower or a sprinkler? Are you... Completely different. Okay, so I'm gonna catch flack for this as well, but the neon launcher is D, maybe C tier, and that's just me being generous. It is extremely expensive to operate. Shooting through walls is rarely that big of a deal, but it makes you charge to get there, and its damage is unimpressive. I've not found this to ever be necessary to use, and it's extremely expensive to operate, like I mentioned. So I'm not... I know a lot of people like the neon launcher there, but I've never been impressed. And the helium is another one, where I know it got a major damage buff, but the projectile speed is just brutal. I'll put it in B tier, because I think it can hit for a lot with the damage changes. I think it was one that got a nice little bump. Let me see if I can find it. If it's... if it's in here. The helium shotgun. Yeah, it got about a 50% damage buff, which is insane. That's a really good bonus, but I don't know if the damage is going to save it. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, Xenon bow up here in the S tier, 100%. So there are some weird ones I'm going to get out of the way. I'm not going to explain much of these, but they're kind of just off the wall. Like, the Vindertech Blaster can hit pretty hard, but B or C tier is like the top it's ever going to go. The Blazer, I've been told is very good, but I haven't really used it myself. I kind of experienced it to be like maybe a B tier weapon. That one kind of needs some caveats along with it. Krypton, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I haven't ran the math. I haven't tested it. I am unqualified to speak on it. Razorblade has been showing really impressive numbers, but it's a burst weapon, and I'm not sure if our numbers are accurate. I don't know. I'll give it a B, but that one could definitely be an A with a little bit of testing. That's a weapon I need to make a video on. That's a weapon I need to get into a little bit more. Nightclaw is basically like the bear shotgun, but worse. So I'm gonna put that in the D tier. That's a repeat right there. Neon Sniper is something I've ranked on my top 10 weapon list, actually, pretty high. Its damage is kind of eh. Its fire is kind of eh. But it can shoot through walls with a thermal scope, which makes it really, really usable. And I don't know. I'll give it an A minus because it's kind of a defender weapon, and then I'll probably put the Obliterator in the A tier because that's... I mean, truly, the Obliterator is only there because it one-shots weapons and because defenders are very, very powerful with it. That's basically it. The Obliterator is one of the top tier snipers. That's been my experience as well. Vindertech Seeker. Well, let's go to the Seeker. Can I find it? Yeah. I wouldn't put it above the D. It hits really hard. It can be very good, but in my gameplay, in my best bows video, I don't even remember if I eliminated the Smasher because it took too long. So I had a clip where I was killing a Smasher, but I only had about 20 to 30 seconds where the Vindertech Seeker had time for that clip. I had to speed up the footage just to show it killing a Smasher. Timmy's voting for fun tier. This is like a presidential pardon over here. Like, all right, I'll take it out of D tier and I'll call it a fun weapon. all right? Just for this one, because that's kind of what it is. It's something you screw around with, but it's not a primary. And the boom bow is kind of that same thing, but it's not as fun. Well, hello. Are you what? Do you need something? I'm busy. Come here. No, you're not gonna interrupt the video and not come say hi. I'm gonna grab you. What? You're coming with me? Come here. Yep. Yep, we got a cat stream now. He's not gonna stay. Hi. Oh, I'm scratching his head now. Hello. This broadcast brought to you by cats.
Oh my God, Beast.
And
oh my God,
Scrappy.
Your beak is
Okay.
fun.
All right, well, that's a cat in. Oh, you're coming back. Oh, did you miss those scratches? Oh, I bet you did. It's been a nice few hot days here in Minnesota. He's been shedding like crazy. I have a lint roller on my desk for this purpose. I like how the whole chat this entire time has been talking about different weapons, their opinions, their pros, their cons, but unanimous adoration for the cat. It's what brings everybody together. One of the mods in our Discord posted like a how to always be right video by Exobia or something. I don't know. He's a guy who tends to go a different route with his videos. And he said as a joke in the middle of his video that if you ever want to stop an argument, just say, oh, look, a cat. Because that's something you can both agree on. Oh my goodness. He just wants all the scratches. I have to get back to the tier list eventually, kitty. We're at 30 minutes. I didn't want this to be longer than 45. Now he's just sitting there. Alright, you can... I don't know how to hide the... There, you can see him. Make a cat cam? He doesn't stay anywhere long enough for it. Alright. I have to go back to the tier list now. I'm sure you'll be okay. I'm sure you'll be alright. Alright. Argonne assault rifle is kind of a C tier. I explained it in the video. So is the buzz cut. And for that matter, the hunter killer is a clone of the buzz cut. We have 2 buzz cuts. That's okay. So the candy corn LMG. Oh my goodness. Candy corn LMG is another example of a loadout where totally rocking out, it can be like A+ S tier damage for brief amounts of time. But because it's limited to physical, it's always going to be hitting for like B tier damage against elemental enemies. And personally, I call it a D tier weapon. Like seriously, I know it can be good with totally rocking out, but I'm not making this list based around loadouts. Without the help of totally rocking out, it's like a D tier at best. I can't personally sign off anything higher, but I know a lot of people really like that weapon. When am I gonna rate the melees? Maybe skulls. Maybe. If somebody can make me a melee tier list, I think Tic Tac did it. Maybe one already exists. If it's updated, I'll talk about it, but I'm not terribly qualified for the melees. So I don't really know. Nailers obviously S tier. Jack's Revenge, again, it's the kind of weapon, it's another weapon that has S tier damage, F tier fire rate. I've used it quite effectively in high zones, but I'll give it a B tier. I can't really sign off on higher than that. Hacksaw is the candy corn, but with elemental damage. So that's where, if I can find it here, the hacksaw is basically the candy corn, but with proper elements. I'm easily going to put that up with the Bobcat because it has extremely comparable damage. Unfortunately, you do need fire rate and damage to acquire that, so you can't be running crit rating crit damage. However, I'm curious actually, has anybody checked out the new 6 perks for the hacksaw? If we can have the each shot grants crit rating 6 perk on it, that could potentially bump it up to be a significantly more viable weapon. Oh my goodness, give me a search bar for fuck's sakes. Oh my goodness, I can't find it. I probably scrolled right past it multiple times. This is a theme. Yep. All right. Well, I got a 6 perks. Drum roll, please. Yuck. Okay. Well, that's not gonna save it. Never mind. Never mind. Well, anyway, you need to make it a bullet hose in order for it to be viable. And by that I mean the damage per second will be there, but you'll be consuming more shots to acquire it. So on the other hand, there are weapons like the Terminator, if I can, there it is, that can kind of acquire that same damage output without sort of the issue, because you can run a crit build on it. So I think it's an A+. I haven't personally used it enough to really sign up. I think A is where it should be, but it might be a clone, if not better than the hacksaw. That's another one that I need to look into a little bit. Get this nailer into F, because someone will max it out. And I know. Somebody's going to cut to this part in the video, pause it, and be like, Beast, why is it an S tier? And then like be exposed for not actually watching the video. That happened. I had some people comment on my old tier list, like, why is this there? Why is that there? I'm like, I get it. I know the video is 45 minutes long, but I did explain why I put stuff certain places. Okay, so the Silent Spectre is, yeah, I mean, everybody knows where this one's going. Yeah, even with the Thrasher being as good as it is, Silent Spectre is hitting pretty hard still. Like, it's not like the Silent Spectre just stopped doing damage. It's right where it always was. And for that matter, the Riptide is a scavenger variant of the Thrasher. Thus, it actually has about 3% less overall damage, but it's still makes it 4% better than the Spectre damage per second, same perk. So it's, yeah. Stampede is, let me move it with the Huskbuster real quick, if I can find it. Oh my goodness. The Huskbuster might not be in here, but it should be. There it is, yeah. All right, Stampede, Huskbuster, like, no bullshit. I'm not even kidding you. S tier. They are that good. I actually ranked the Stampede number 2, I think, as my number 1 of my top 10 base game weapons. It's up there. It's a very, very good weapon. Put the Spectre in fun tier. No, the Spectre's not actually that fun because of how commonly used it is. Spectre, yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good. Here's where it's going to be. Ooh, our first Art Deco weapons. Based on the math, yeah, the Floor Flusher is an easy S tier. It kind of requires the same element matchup, but then again, so does the black metal weapons that I put up here. So same element, I think we can pull up that tier list again. The Floor Flusher is stupidly good, like way better than I think anybody might know. It's yeah. What do you think is more unlocking with the weapon voucher? Pulse or data measure, Floor Flusher? I made a whole video on weapon vouchers. I'm sorry. I cannot elaborate, especially while I'm recording a video, but this is true to everybody who asks me these things. I make weapons videos on these so that I can answer the question as openly as I can. For people specific, like, I get asked, which this or this very often. I can't help you. I really can't. So the Hemlock was already basically A+ before. I actually am curious where it falls on this list. Yeah, 220k. It's right below the Hacksaw. It's good. It's good. It doesn't quite match the Spectre, but something interesting happened. Again, with that new pesky 6 perk changes, you can get some really decent area of effect damage perks on here. So with the 5 hits in a row, that might make the Hemlock just like a little bit better, you know, a little bit better, which it doesn't need to be a little bit better. It's already quite good, as I just showed, but I think A+ is a comfortable ranking for it. Phenomenal weapon. What was the perk loader for that Nocturno? I think we ranked it crit and double crit damage, and then we're factoring the 6 perk, and then it has a reload perk on it. Hydra's in there twice. Thumper, you know, I ranked that with my bazooka video. I actually find these to be very similar weapons. I don't think it's A- or anything, but if you guys haven't used the Thumper yet, seriously, it's a weapon you might have written off long ago, but it got changed. It is a lot stronger now. Like, a lot stronger. I want to put it right up there next to the bazooka. Like, seriously, it doesn't get a lot of use, but that's because it's an old weapon. It is very good. So this is, I'm going to follow this up just because this guy told me to answer. Should you get links with your, I make these videos because it's not that cut and dry. I'll link the voucher video in chat. I can't answer for every specific person. Whether or not you should get links depends on so many factors that I don't have time for right now. Anyway, thank you for subscribing. So, we're almost done with this list. Siegebreaker is actually identical DPS to the Nocturno before you factor in the 6 perk. It actually has very comparable DPS to the Bobcat. We compare these weapons with very similar perks, so I try to save them. I don't think Choo Choo has it on here, but the Siegebreaker is, I think, a little bit stronger than the Bobcat. It's quite good, actually. Like, literally an A+ weapon. I've used it in 144 players. It's good. It's actually good. The Siegebreaker is yeah. Yeah, Link's only viable in Storm King. Yeah, see? Chat's giving them all the things they didn't have time for, because there's a lot to get into. Freedom's Herald, it's a fun weapon. It's a fun weapon. I only made a video on it because it was 4th of July. It's good. You can actually use it. It actually does good damage. And I think there's another one that has the exact same... Oh, Tiny Instrument of Death might have been what I was thinking of. Yeah, the Freedom's Herald is actually quite strong. I would genuinely put it in the A tier. Like, seriously, if you make a pistol loadout, it can be good. But it's just something you use for fun. It's not like a legitimate. And the Tiny Instrument of Death is the same thing, where it's you guide a rocket. The damage is kind of but it's not, you know. Read last message. You know I'm recording a video, right? I can't just why nail an F tier? Okay, yeah, that was worth scrolling up for. Okay, so. That's a pro tip. I'll say this in the video as well. If anybody's ever watching a stream, if I miss a message, just repeat it. Just repeat it. Give it a few minutes so you don't spam it, but just repeat the message. Telling me to read up is like, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot more than one person in chat, so I can't just read up. It doesn't make my life any easier. All right, I just messed up my chat. Oh no, I messed it up twice. Ah! You know, if I was a YouTuber with, you know, infinite time and will, I'd be cutting out these little moments, but I think it's fun. So the pop-up air is the same thing as the typewriter and can be perked. Choo Choo's been having fun, because if you put double damage, if you put double fire rate damage to afflicted on this, it actually is S tier damage, but you will be draining your mag size. You'll be draining your magazine and all of your bullets, and you won't actually be doing more damage. You'll be doing a lot more lesser damage bullets. So the DPS will be there, but you'll you'll have to turn it into a literal bullet hose to acquire that. I'll put it in like the A tier, because without that build, a more practical build, it's actually quite a little bit weaker. Depending on how you perk it, this ranking can change. I think as a base, I'll put it in A tier, and then obviously it's the same thing as the typewriter, so I'll just try to match it if I can even find it. The typewriter has disappeared for me, chat. I'm sure that it's gone now. Oh, there it is. Regardless, that can change depending on how you want to spec it. Now we're down to these final bits. The monsoon. A tier, I think, seriously, once you get going. There's a little bit of a spin up, but it is very strong. Very, very strong. Pain Train is overhyped. Is it on our tier list here? Because, yeah, remember the Pain Train with the ramping 6 perk applied. It's actually quite strong. I think it's just like a little bit better than the Spectre without that 6 perk, so I don't remember exactly where it falls. But it's not overhyped. I think some people literally class it as the top tier best weapon in the game. It's literally called the Pain Train, but it's good. It's really good. I put the Spectre in S tier and the Bobcat in That's funny because the Bobcat is slightly better, but that's not with my math. I don't know what math he used. It might have been a new 6 perk for this. But the Pain Train, I don't know. It can be better. It can be better. Should I put it up there in S tier? Should I do it? Should I do it? I think I will. I trust the math. It's a very strong weapon. That each shot grants damage or crit rating is a really good combination. It's a really good combination. I want people to also know that the A tier, A plus, S tier are essentially the same category, because when it comes to the typical gameplay, all of these top weapons are meta defining. So like, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter if Beast thought one of these weapons was better than the Siegebreaker. Siegebreaker's still going to kick ass. You know what I mean? So it's kind of all a little bit preference. The Trinity I've always held is basically the same as the Pepper Sprayer. They balance these really well. But the accuracy on this thing makes it unusable. Oh my god. I know that kind of applies to the Pain Train as well, but I have never been able to have any fun using the Trinity. It's just way too sprayy. I'll put it in the A- tier, even though it's kind of got the damage of an A+. Because it's like 2 or 3 bursts in. If I move at all, it sprays everywhere. It's not... Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Future likes to sacrifice quality of life perks for maximum damage. Yeah, I'm aware. What is this one? Is this the... Oh, shoot. Is this the big shot or the... Did he put both shotguns in here? Uh-oh. I think we're missing some of the shotguns. Oh no, Daniel. Ah. Wow, that's a bummer. I can't remember if this is the big shot or the other shotgun. There are 2 Art Deco shotguns. I will state for the record, the big shot is, like, I was going to put it in S tier. It is that strong. The other one, you kind of need a double pump, much like the Browbeater, but that's not big shot? I didn't think so. So I'll put it right next to the Browbeater because it plays very similarly. But if you want to double pump that, it can easily be like in a, brush off. I think I'm looking for the big shot. Yeah, I might be blind. I don't think it's in here, but the big shot should be in S tier. It's that good. Sodbuster, again, I don't think I've seen the Santa's Little Helper, but it has a place in S tier. Where's the Santa's Little Helper? Let me bring it up, yeah. Yeah, that is definitely, yeah. The launchers are all just stupid good. Free llama's? Oh shit, yeah. If you're watching this literally as I'm recording it, which apparently 800 of you are, or, yeah, rounding up, let's call it 800. There's a free llama in shop right now. Oh, little mid-roll llama opening. If anybody wants to use code Mista at their checkout, there you go. This has been a fun tier list. The cat interruption, the llamas. Oh, a nailer. Wonder if... what? Wonder if I should do anything with that. Oh, Thrasher. All right. Serious face. Here we go. Here we go. I actually got that up in crit rating Thrasher from a blue schematic yesterday. I could use Fortnite DB to just go into my account and see what 6 perks this is going to have without spending any flux, but I'm just going to do it. Just because I want to see it right now. Ooh. Snare's not that bad. I'll favorite this because that's potentially usable. All right. Hey, even blue weapons can be a nice get. All right. Literally the best gun. You talk about the nailer, right? So speaking of best gun, the double boiler has the highest single target damage in the entire game that's not a launcher. I actually found that on Fortnite DB. It is that good. I'm going to put it in the A+, because I don't think it's as game-defining as the other shotguns. It's a little clunky, but if you've ever used the double boiler, you've seen enemies just get deleted in front of you. I'm going to actually personally bring it down to an A+, because I'm thinking about the reason that I never use it, and that's that its group damage is a little tough. I think it can pierce. I can't remember exactly, but it's not... It's a little tough to use in the lead, but it is very, very, very good. The double boiler is... yeah. The Mercury LMG, the new 6 perks. So... little story about the Mercury LMG. It had that new perk that the Hemlock has where 5 shots can cause an explosion, which made it broken because it was insanely good. Check Hangout. You will see why no big shot. Oh, okay. I think you are overestimating how much time I have here. Okay, well, my PNG for the big shot was in the folder. So, my story's been derailed. Yeah, so it's used to hit a lot harder with those little explosions, but then they made it 70% of the damage bullet, which is, yeah, it can be a lot better because it has that ramping damage build. I'll put it back into A tier because I think that could bring the Mercury LMG back, especially since of what we just discovered yesterday, actually. I won't get too deep into this because it's kind of a conversation in its own, but with the... let me find the Mercury LMG so I can illustrate this real quick. Yeah. All make size. So the way that I understood this was that it could stack damage or crit rating to a maximum of 15 times, but you were limited by your fire rate. We have since learned that is not the case. This will stack up to 15 times, and then every single bullet you fire will just keep renewing that over and over and over. And then after you stop firing for 1 second, then your damage goes away. So with that added damage and crit rating and a not mag size build, the Mercury LMG can sustain a really, really capable damage output. And it is, I don't know. That could change it. If you have the right 6 perk on that Mercury LMG, it could be an A tier weapon. And that's kind of where I'm going to place it for now. Oh my, we still have some weapons to go. I'm going to go rapid fire. Rapid fire, lesser explanation, all right? That's an F tier. The Deathstalker is kind of good. I've heard some good praise, but I don't really know. The Vacuum Tube AR could actually be an A- since you have that eliminations chain out to other targets. I believe it has that 6 perk. On that basis, I'm going to make it an A- because it's actually that good. The Tiger's kind of good. I mean, it's usable. I'll make it a B tier. It was on my list to make a weapon video on. The Tiger Jaw is an easy S tier. Seriously, so those shotguns got so freaking strong, it's unreal. A+. I don't want to water down S tier, but it's a very, very strong weapon. The quad launcher, it can be quite good. I think it got a good damage buff if I can find it here. Yeah, so 23% is kind of okay. 54 base damage is not important. The important part is the fire pools. I have used this very successfully. It is a very strong weapon. I'll put it in B tier because it's a little finicky, relying on the damage pools with the fire pools and not acid pools. But it's good. Plasmatron, phenomenal for crowd clearing. Seriously, this little pistol is insanely good for encampments. I highly recommend it if you've never tried it. We already rated that. Spyglass, literally, this is just unfortunate because early game for Mist monsters, S tier, like actually, but seeing as it doesn't really do much in the end game, I'll balance it out to a B tier. Obviously, the old Betsy is going to be the same. Is that not in here? Oh, goodness. Well, the Spyglass and old Betsy should be in the same spot. Regardless, it's a B tier weapon. Yeah, unfortunately. A+ or more if you're before Candy or Twine, but Once you stop one-shotting Mist monsters, it's not so good anymore. The Grunt, pretty good. I mean, the damage is there. It's A-. A little bit finicky. It might be a B or C tier depending on your playstyle, but the damage is there. I like it a lot. The Blastron 9000, same thing. It can be very good, but you're a little limited on mag size. Ranger, I've heard very good things of. I'll put it in B tier just to be safe because I think it got a good damage buff. Yeah, look at that, 22%. So it's a little bit better now, but I don't know. Gravedigger. I'm going to break some hearts quickly and cleanly. C tier. All right, moving on. We already rated that. The Judge. Most pistols are a D. I'm sorry. Yeah, no pistol. Are these the same weapon? They totally are. So, not every pistol in the game. They need group damage. They need group damage straight up. Bald Eagle. I'm actually going to rank it just a little bit higher. Because if you dual wield that and have headshot eliminations and don't miss your shots and hit headshots, it's a high skill threshold, but the Bald Eagle can be quite effective, actually. Coco 45, you guys know where this is going. It's a very fun weapon, but it's not, you know, Easter egg launcher as well. It's a very fun weapon. It actually got the same damage buff as the snowball launcher, I believe. They are, let me see, snowball launcher and Easter egg, very similar. They both got buffed by a lot. You're not really using it unless you're just having fun, but I'll put it right next to the snowball launcher because they're kind of, you know, that's all right, Daniel. No, I seriously appreciate you updating this list. I know that we're missing some weapons, but this is good enough. This is totally good enough. Bazooka, I think I already ranked it. Yeah, so we got a couple of extra copies. The Room Sweeper, I always put it right next to the Tiger Jaw because the Room Sweeper shoots faster, does less damage. Tiger Jaw shoots slower, does more damage. They essentially level out and perform incredibly similarly. And also, if you divide the damage output by the time spent reloading, the Room Sweeper is the highest DPS shotgun in the game. Fun fact. Unfortunately, you will be burning through bullets to acquire that much damage, so careful. But, you know, Roman, thank you for subscribing. The Ralphie's Revenge, if you can hit your headshots, can be really good. I'll put it up in B tier. Seriously, it got a massive damage increase as well, if I can find it. Yeah, 87% for a sniper is huge. You're literally going to be headshotting consistently for millions. Or not millions, but you'll be critting for millions. Hundreds of thousands. A lot. Space Pistol... I'll put it in fun tier. Because the only time you're ever actually using this weapon is when you're dual wielding it with carbide. And that is a very, very fun time. Anybody who's ever done that in the Labyrinth dungeon, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Slow streamer, like we're following. The pistol, just gonna make it swift and easy. The bear, where did I say the Nightclaw was? I think I put that in D tier or lower. I don't remember exactly. Where did I put the Nightclaw? I'm blind. I am actually blind, but the bear is quite good. I'll comfortably put it in A- and back it up because its damage is so good. It's also a clone of the Founder's Deconstructor, if I understand that correctly. So I don't think the Deconstructor is in here, but it should be right next to the bear. It just has a better 6 perk like all the other Founder's weapons. Gamatron, I have consistently ranked this highly always, and I will remain doing so because it is a powerhouse. It's just very good. I don't know what else to tell you. The damage is there. He added the Siege Breaker. What do we got? Yeah, it comes right in under the Gravedigger? Oh, with stacking crit rating. Fuck. I want to know what perks he used for that. Really? My Siege Breaker was... Okay, well, he and I have done our math a little bit differently. I don't think all the perks are apples to apples. Gravedigger's 210, huh? That's interesting how perspective can change, because the Gravedigger's a C, and the Siege Breaker's an A+. But according to his math, they're the exact same. That... I'm going to stick with my gut. I want that to be a footnote that this might be completely inaccurate. I will bump that up to a B, though. But I'd have to do more research than I'm going to right this second. This is also a scavenger of the bazooka. The trash cannon is the same as the bazooka. Durability is the only difference. I actually used a vacuum tube shotgun with the Chain Lightning 6 perk. No bullshit. That weapon needs a video. That thing is crazy good. Crazy good. Like, it takes a lot of energy cells, but so does the vacuum tube launcher. I don't remember what kind of damage buff it got. Let me find it here. Vacuum tube, yeah. 82% damage buff? I could tell. The vacuum tube shotgun got a lot better. The Judge, I'm just gonna let all the pistols down easy. Steam Piston, I feel like I rated that already. I'm starting to forget now. I don't think I did. Steam Piston's actually pretty fun. It's
Oh
a
my
fun
God,
weapon. It's
Beast.
good.
Oh
It's
my
not
God,
game
I'm the
defining,
biggest
but it's
fan.
quite good.
Ow.
Let me see. Critical damage. Oh, he ran a damage perk on the Siege Breaker. That's what I thought. He had a damage perk on the Gravedigger instead of a reload perk. That's why they were so similar. I was gonna say. Okay, so I stand by this ranking then because the perks were in apples to apples. Yeah. All right. Muscle Dust double barrel shotgun. I don't know. Probably the big shot. Woofer is basically a weaker Pulsar 9000. I've said this a bunch in the past. I'll make it an A tier weapon, no doubt. I'll rank it that high. The Woofer could be maybe an A plus. But I've explained this in my Woofer video and I demonstrated that it is everything it does. The Pulsar does better at the cost of using more energy cells. So that's the Judge. It's Cyclops. Well, the Judge and the Cyclops are basically the same weapon. One has a scope and one doesn't. They're not literally the same, but I mean, yeah. Thank you for the follows, everybody. Two-step shotgun. I actually maxed out the perks when I made a video on this. Seriously, I don't think it's game defining or whatever, but A or A minus, it's a good shotgun. It's a good shotgun. That impressed me like a lot. Did I rank the Neon Sniper? I did. We got some copies here. Gamatron. I know I placed this. Did I? The sniper. I'll put it in D tier regardless. Yeah, the Steam Piston Sniper is the Bon Voyage. Not gonna be making too many fans, but the Swan is just a run-of-the-mill AR. I haven't. So I did the math on this. I've never specifically done the math actually, but I compared it to other weapons I remember in-game testing, and it's just never impressed me. It's much like the Duet, where the Duet first impression was terrible, second impression was terrible, math was like third impression actually seemed like it was really good. The Swan is so amazing on paper, but I've never ever had it perform well for me. And that's one of those things where it needs a little bit more of a deep dive, because the Swan is just on paper a really high damage weapon, but in practice it was so bad. I've never been impressed by it, so I don't know. The Yeoman is a sniper that is high damage, great for UFO. Endurance people love it. I'll rank it highly just for that, but it's not anything you should be using outside of Wave 25 on Entwine. Seriously, if you're not shooting down a UFO with a Yeoman, I've never seen a use for it. Vintertech Pulsar, pretty good. The damage buffs was very, very kind to it. 31% is no joke for an AR, but it's not, it didn't blow my hair back or anything. The Stalwart Squire is very S tier damage, but you're shooting one at a time, and it has one of the lowest durability rates of any shotgun. Yeah. It's one of those weapons where it's like S tier damage, but anybody who's ever used it as a primary ended up using a different shotgun. I'll put it in C tier, just because it's the Xenon surpass Yeoman for UFO. Well, if the Yeoman lost its niche, then I'm literally putting it in B. Like, if it lost its niche, that was the only thing saving it, I'll put it down there. It doesn't make it any worse for UFO, though. It just means that there are better options. So I'll put it in A tier, but you know where my thoughts are at. Viper is kind of like those other top tier SMGs, but it didn't quite get as much of a bump. Where did it end up? Yeah, they didn't change it at all. So it kind of fell behind. It's a very solid B tier weapon. Like if you're using that in Stonewood or Plankerton or something, it's a solid pick, but I don't know. Lightning Pistol did not need a damage buff. That's an easy A. Seriously, Lightning Pistol, especially with the Chain Lightning perk, I'll put in A+. But I imagine a session using this weapon might put it in the S tier for me, because it's already a very high damage SMG, technically speaking. But it's, yeah, reload speed on bow or Chromium Ramirez. Reload speed on the bow. Yeah, use Stoneheart Farah always. If you don't have her, go get a voucher and go unlock her, because she is that good. You need Stoneheart Farah to make any of the bows truly viable. And somebody keeps asking my preferred launcher. I use the deatomizer a lot. It just does the job for me. I rarely use launchers, but the Santa's Little Helper is my personal go-to all-around launcher. But that could be changing, because some of these are getting pretty strong, which I'm happy to report. Pop Shot, like I said, like not even bullshitting US tier. It is quite good. It has a pretty useless 6 perk, but they did that because it's so strong. Last Word is probably one of the only pistols in the game that I've actually used in High Twine, and it actually performed kind of well. Obviously saving for the Founders Revolt and whatnot. Where did I put the Founders Revolt? I lost it. It's gone, everybody. The Founders of Old has vanished from my... Oh, it's up here, yeah. So, I'll put it in A-, but it's good. You can shoot it really fast in the support. And you can be a lot more accurate while shooting slower in the range. Oh, I've read my first complaint about the sub alert. How has it not driven you into madness? I like it. Aggie yelling that she's my biggest fan. It's been on the channel for so damn long. I've only ever had 2 people complain about it. Literally 2 people ever. It's surprising. You'd have thought that I'd have gotten more complaints from it. Wrath, or the Wraith, not the Wrath, the Wraith. People love this weapon. I have found good ways to use it. My nose keeps itching, but you kind of need to sit still in order for it to not bloom into madness. And I don't know. I don't know. I'll keep it in A tier, but I know some people would rank that S tier in a second, and I just can't. I can't go any higher. I'm sorry, Acorn. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I think all of my chat has been completely lost because I have no drop shadow on there. That's an actual bummer. Let me just see this real quick before I end the video. I just want to know. Yeah, you can't read a single message from chat down here. That sucks. If anybody knows CSS and give me a drop shadow, because I deleted mine and need it apparently. That's a bummer. That's a bummer actually. All right. Last few. Rat King, I'll put it right next to the Hydra because it performs very similarly. Very similarly. They are essentially the same weapon. Where did I put the Hydra? Oh my god, there it is. Yeah. Kind of just a B tier, kind of weapon. And I think, oh. What? Lightning Pistol can't have the chain lightning? Oh, he has the one with chain lightning. Alright, so maybe there will be some gameplay coming out with Lightning Pistol soon. V6 launcher is kind of a B tier weapon. You can shoot it very fast and it's very effective. I'll give it A-, but I'm not sold on bringing it up too much higher. The Yeoman's still crazy for the USO, but for ranged against them, it's still OP. That's what I was saying. Like, I know that it's lost its niche in that the Xenon does it better, but it's not like the Yeoman stopped doing damage. It's the same conversation I had to have with the Silent Spectre. People in my comments, when I released my Thrasher video detailing how it's a better weapon than the Silent Spectre, people were like recycling their schematics and shit. I'm like, guys, settle down. Your Silent Spectre isn't going to stop doing damage. 7% isn't that much. Oh my goodness, it scared me. Whisper 45 is probably one of the only pistols that can actually hang in B tier, like, normally. It doesn't have area of effect damage, but it has so much normal damage. Whisper is a good weapon. And the Cannonade is also kind of a sleeper weapon. I think it's a lot stronger nowadays than people really know. I think that one might see some more use. The Vindertex Disintegrator, I tried it. I'm not impressed. That's it. I made a video on it. You can hear my full thoughts there. The pistol. I haven't tried this weapon. Another one. The Vacuum Tube Revolver. Wait, didn't I make a video on that? I think I did. I'm going to check my stream deck. I'm 100% sure that I made it. Well, maybe I should know. The fact that I still don't remember this weapon, even after literally making a weapon video on it, is probably a bad sign. It's probably a bad sign. If a weapon is that forgettable, then it's not exactly game-changing. The ray gun, it got a pretty good damage buff, but you're going to be using a lot of energy cells. It was good. Yeah, I think it was good as far as pistols are concerned, because I gave the Duelist a glowing review, and it's a C tier, I think. Or it should be. Where did I put the Duelist? Oh my goodness. These weapons are all merging together for me. Where did I put the Duelist? I lost it, everybody. It's gone. Someone's staring at it right now. I'm sure of it, and I can't find it. Regardless, the note... Damn, that's gonna drive me insane. Where's the Duelist? I lost it. I lost C tier. Am I staring right at it? That's the... Oh my god, I am. Yeah, I'll put it right next to the Duelist because I remember them being very similar. Alright, thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. I think the rest of these are repeats. That just about clears that up. I'm glad to see some of the Art Deco weapons are firmly placed in that top spot. Oh, he is so blind. Honestly, when you put things in a group like this, I just cannot pick it out. It's so hard for me. My mouse was on it. Maybe I was covering it, you know? Alright. That's where we landed. What's the best double barrel shotgun? Well, let's consult the list, since you must really want to know. You've asked a lot. Apparently the Maverick. Yeah, which makes sense. And the Maverick should have the big shot right next to it, by the way. The big shot is probably the best double barrel shotgun in the game now. It's incredibly strong. Yoink, thank you for the donation. Yeah, 1 centimeter cursor covers the whole weapon. Hey, leave me alone, alright? Alright. Is this gonna be a video? Yeah, it is. I don't want to hang on this too much, but it's exhausting. If you guys have never ranked a video, just sit down for an hour and talk about every weapon in the game. It's... Oh, double boiler should be up here. Yeah, I put it in the A tier, I think. Yeah, solid weapon. Solid weapon. Also, these are not ranked in any specific order of, like, goodness. I just put them in here as I saw them. Put the double boiler in the A+. I explained how it could be, depending on how much you value it. I'm going to keep it in the A tier for now, because it's not really that important. Regardless, the double boiler, this is how you should split these lists, okay? D- is don't use these, unless you have a specific loadout, like the candy corn, for example. And anything from C to A- is either only good in candy and below, or if it's in the A- tier, it could be good with a proper loadout. And then anything from like A+, besides the fun tier, of course, anything from A- or A to A+ to S tier are all just like, these are your go-to loadouts if you're actually trying to win some games. That's my basic understanding of it. All right, I think I should probably save this as an image and then put that in like an imager or something, link below. The big shot is not a PNG on this list, but it should be right next to the double boiler, which won't be communicated unless people watch the video, but there you go. Siegebreaker should not be an A+. Anybody who disagrees, I implore you to watch through the video and hear my explanations, because I explained it quite clearly. I'm going to stop recording. There's going to be no outro on this, because to put like my do to outro on the end of an hour-long video would take me longer than one might think. So I'm just going to call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Use code Mista at your checkout if you're looking to support the channel. Member link should be in the description. Join button on the channel if you guys want to do that. Goodbye, people on YouTube.